Okay, welcome back to Maxi Pro. How you doing? Let's start this video right off with a quick wake up. Who are you? Where are you? What are you doing? You are in your home or office or I don't know. You're somewhere. You are you. You are also connected to everything around you. And what are you doing? Well, you're watching this. You're watching probably the greatest course of all time. Let's just get that straight. I mean, this is going to be, the next, for the next 80 years of your life, or actually, who knows how long humans are going to be living 80 years from now, what the life expectancy will be with modern medicine, but you're going to be living for a long time, and you're going to remember this is the moment that changed everything. No, I mean, yes and no, but yes, it is. So, all right, we just finished experiencing the truth now. So you know what presence feels like. You know how to call your attention to your center, viewing yourself and your surroundings in perhaps a way that you haven't before. And in this video, we're going to talk about how to reach you where you're at. This is all aligning with your inner purpose. In today's video, we're going to start off with a story time. Why I partied intentionally at college. We'll discuss the energy scale. And then we will discuss how to move up the energy scale. So story time. Here's some videos, thumbnails of videos that I made in college. And they are college advice videos, story times, inappropriate story times, videos about, just partying in general. And as someone who's so passionate about actually changing the world and, having a positive impact on society, you might wonder, why would I do this? And it's very selfish, actually. I did it for me. But I didn't do it for me at the time I made them. I mean, I did, but I had a longer, more thought out vision than just, hedonism, which is doing things that feel good now. I had a broader plan. And before I tell you that, I got to tell you about me. About this kid here in high school, who you know from week one, who was going through a lot of anxiety and a lot of negative thoughts, symptoms of depression for several years. And the thing is, while reading books was the way to escape this paradigm of, pretty much self-destruction, books just, if you told me to read a book, it just would not resonate with me. Like, I would not be down to learn about neuroplasticity. The only way I figured it out back then was pretty much by accident. Like, I just happened to come across a TED Talk because I was in this TED Talk phase, and I clicked on it by accident. If I hadn't clicked on it, then I wouldn't have had this one realization. And the realization was that reading books can pretty much show you the path to anything you want in life. And so what was I interested in? Well, I was interested in partying and girls, pretty much. This is a guy named, on the left here, Jimmy Tatro, who is a complete legend. He had all these college freshman advice videos I thought were hilarious. These are actually some girls I know that went to BU, and I'm Schmacked was just I don't know if they're even still in business, but they made all these college party videos, and that's what I was watching. I wasn't reading books. It just wasn't happening. So what I realized at a certain point in college was, if I want to help people who have anxiety, which, because I had helped myself get out of it, I realized that there's things I can share to a large population of kids out there who just don't realize that the way to get out of anxiety is pretty much by reading a few books. And I know that's a blanket statement, but at least for the anxiety that I was experiencing, learning about meditation, journaling, neuroplasticity, there's a few key books I recommended to people that literally changed hundreds, if not thousands of lives during the time I was making these videos. And so I'm gonna draw the point together in a moment, but before we do that, call attention to center. Be aware. Accept the moment as it is. Don't try to change it. Who are you? Where are you? What are you doing? Seeing yourself, seeing reality, and we return. If I want me here, new Arlin here, to send a message to young Arlin, probably the worst thing I can do is make a bunch of videos about ancient, esoteric texts on personal development, like the Kabbalion. Because if I try to make that video and communicate to that audience, it won't resonate, it won't vibe, and it won't make any sense. So rather than doing that, what I did instead was I made a bunch of videos about college partying, because remember, this version of me was very interested in college partying. So if I made a few videos about college parties and then I made a video about anxiety relating to this version of me, and then I dropped that book about self-development, which previously didn't make sense, well, boom, now it makes sense. Now it resonates. And I still do this now. I still make videos to target an audience of people that aren't really previously interested in self-development, in self-improvement, know that they can be great, know that they can perhaps be, legendary, but don't exactly vibe at the level of Googling self-development videos. And I do it in this video here. So, when I went to Bali, I made a lot of very engaging, entertainment-based content that kind of led people to wonder, how did he get there? And so what happens is I get people in the Maxi community, like Kevin here, who explains, hey guys, I just joined Maxi a couple days ago. I was a sub to Arlin for his college content initially, but found out he was spiritual and on his journey of self-development. Finally, I had the gut feeling that Maxi was something special, a great community of like-minded spiritual individuals on their self-improvement journey. And obviously he is in the community, so he joined, and he's got some good supporters here, which is cool. So you see that this process works. And the reason I partied intentionally in college was to reach people where they are at in order to convey a message that I know that they need to hear. Call your attention to your center. Who are you? Where are you? What are you doing? No rush. Just be. See reality, see yourself, and we move on. The particles that make up humans tend to vibrate at different frequencies. And by the way, we are now moving toward the energy scale. So basically, there's a simple scale for the way that particles vibrate. And it's measured on 0 to 1,000. And this is known as the consciousness scale. The lower you are on the scale, so 0 to 50, obviously the more dense and dark the energy is. And who are you in a very low level state? So on this 0 to 200, this is considered low vibration energy. You're a victim mentality. You may have heard that before. Where are you? Hell, purgatory. If you ever read anything religious, any religious text, or even heard about how hell is described, it's described as this place of hurt, this place of angst, depression, fiery hell, anger, everyone hates each other, everyone's attacking each other. Well, at least my understanding of that is that you see that all over the world. And I personally was in a state of self-sabotage, self-hurting, negative thinking. I have to say it feels as though I've been to hell. It really does when you're in those dark modes of consciousness and don't know how to escape. That's low vibration energy. But then there's high vibration energy. So really anything 200 and above is high vibration energy. This is the place of self-power. Earth is, it's high vibration. It's not necessarily heaven yet, but it's definitely a good place to be. This is where a lot of things get done. This is where you feel good, you do good, you appreciate things that the world has to offer, that the earth has to offer. You're motivated, you have courage. But then above that, you have oneness, the gates of heaven, the expansiveness that isn't even limited to this human experience here on earth. You realize you are a part of the earth. You are a part of the sky. You are part of the universe. You are part of the people around you. You are a part of realizing how strange and woo-woo and esoteric this sounds, but yet it resonates at a certain level. And then all the way at the top, you experience levels of peace, union, fullness, where, funny enough, the thoughts you have in peace, enlightenment, union, where you really realize that nothing matters, are the same that you have when you're in self-hurt. The only difference is that up here, you're aware that nothing matters. And it's true. I mean, hey, we are small beings, guys. We're really small. I mean, we have about 100 years on this planet, and it's billions and billions of years old. We're a microcosm on this limitless, expansive universe. And of course, we don't really know if the universe is limitless, but it's definitely much bigger than the tiny speck that we make on it. So while nothing matters, you're okay with it because you're a part of it, and everything is just good. Here, it's a bit nihilistic. Another version of the scale shows how action happens, what you're actually doing. So what action is motivated by, what you actually do, and then an example of that. So lower levels of energy lead to destruction, shame, feeling like, you're a bad person, feeling guilty. That's a low level thing. One thing you might do if you feel guilty or shameful or destructive is hurt someone or hurt yourself. This can be unconscious, of course, and usually is. It pretty much is the definition of unconscious. But and we'll go into this in a little bit, you can have pockets of higher level energy and still be aware most of the time, but still be holding these lower levels of energy, which in Maxi Pro Week 2, we are going to discuss how to escape those lower levels of energy. Not to escape, but to process them and let them go. Now, 20 to 99, this is a place of no motivation, where this is really the typical drifter energy level. You procrastinate on things, you have a feeling that you could be great, but you just don't really take any action toward there. And kind of everything you're doing seems pointless. You might be in school just drifting along. You might be, not that school is a place of drifters. Of course, you can have a non-drifting personality and become an amazing doctor or researcher or whatever you do. But that's at least kind of how I felt at one point when I was drifting. I was just kind of going through the motions of life, not creating my own agenda, not steering my own ship. Then we move up toward fear. And this is a common symptom of fear or self-importance, is talking negatively about others, gossiping. Arlin is a tool, for example, saying that type of thing. Then we move up here. And we're going to go a lot more in depth here throughout this this slideshow so that you have a very clear grasp on what all these things actually are. So this is just a light overview, but I'm going to break all these down, so don't worry too much. And I wanted to just share this last one here, which talks about how to move up the energy scale. And the thing that I want to make a point here on, and we're going to, again, go into all of this in more depth, because it's very key to understand in order to achieve complete self-mastery and to become a complete non-drifter in life, is to realize that if you understand the scale, you have complete self-mastery. You know how to move throughout the different parts of your life in which you may be experiencing grief, for example. Maybe you break up with your girlfriend or boyfriend and you're in just a state of apathy. How do you move out of that? Well, what I can tell you is that the way you move out of grief or apathy is not the way you move from procrastination into, for example, action. It's different. There's different processes you have to do to move from one part of the energy scale to the next. And for example, if you're in a state of apathy, me telling you to, meditate is just not going to resonate. If you've just broken up with your boyfriend or girlfriend or been cheated on or something like that, and you're really sad, there's really no amount of action taking or not necessarily action taking, but positive thinking that's going to help you. There's other processes you have to go through. So now I'm going to give you examples. So 0 to 50 consciousness, destruction, shame, self-sabotage, and violence. The attitude you might have is, let's just destroy something, okay? Get in a fight, get really angry, hurt yourself even. Do terrible things like terrorism. Then 20 to 99, this is more about the depression, negative thoughts, procrastination even, drifting. The general attitude is that you just don't really want to be here. 100 to 199, this is a place of fear, anxiety, gossip, which overall is kind of like a background noise. So what I want you to do right now is just call attention to your center and listen to the sounds in your room right now. You hear how maybe there's just like a slight hum? Like for me, there's just this slight hum. I think it might be the refrigerator. It might be, just the piping or something in my apartment building. But there's just a slight hum, and that's what I compare that to general discomfort, like this general feeling that just like it's just an angst, which can erupt more into panic attacks and such, and the need to criticize and condemn and complain about others. But understanding that that's what that is, at least you can identify it and become aware of it, and that's the first step to moving out of it. Now this is 200 to 299, which is better than fear and anxiety and gossip and guilt and shame and destruction, but it's still, you see this a lot where it's a very needy type of frame, right? So you're excited, right, to be gaining all this attention on Instagram or TikTok or YouTube, but you kind of don't really know where you're going. You're getting a lot of likes, you're getting what are called vanity metrics, but for what purpose? Just attention, really. And again, it's not bad if you're in this energy level right now, but you have to understand that there's more to life. There's more to life than attention. And it's actually not even, it kind of has a similar general hum of discomfort, because as soon as the likes are stripped away, as soon as you lose a follower or not get as many likes on a picture, then you feel empty. And so that's not quite so good. Now, we move up to 300, 439. This is where I think a lot of us in Maxi kind of enter as like a feel-good state where we're practicing our daily action. We're focusing on our wins. We are, remembering to be grateful for everything that we have, practicing sharing, right? Sharing our experiences in the community and giving to others. And that's actually a higher level energy. But really here, it's just, it's getting excited. It's acceptance. That's how this can be described. Now we move into 439, 599, which is very, I wanted to include a video. So this is Louis Armstrong. And the 439 to 599, this is a vast range of energy, but think of like creation as a higher level of energy. So every time you're working on a project that you're deeply passionate about, you're writing a song, you're creating a YouTube video, you're working on a business development, you're out being very social, or even romantic relationships can kind of access this creation energy. Maybe you're planning a date for someone you really care about. Maybe you're celebrating an anniversary and you're planning. You're planning for Christmas even. You're gift shopping. This is a high level energy. And on the higher end of the spectrum, kind of like I would say like a 500 to 510 is actually giving your gift to the world. So this is Louis Armstrong singing, and I think it's going to show you kind of what this demonstration is, and you'll see the look on his face, just so happy.
I see trees of green. I see them blue for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
So he's singing, and it's beautiful. What a wonderful world. And it's not necessarily even the song, it's really just like creating and delivering your deepest gift. That's what's characterized in the 439 and to 600 level energy. Maybe you're a photographer here, right? And you love going out and taking photos and delivering those photos to the world. Now, setting intentions in your daily action, crafting your master vision and setting your intention there. This is also a very high level activity to engage in. Actually, up here, this one. So dictating your Maxi master vision before bed, that is a super high level 439 to 599 level process, because you're envisioning your future. You are setting an intention, okay? And then you are executing on that intention, right? You're contributing to society. You are giving your deepest gift. Now, a lot of times, and this is where the inner purpose comes into play, we're thinking about, how do I know what my deepest gift is? Well, that's where practices in this module come from. So meditation, practicing energy awareness exercises, which is something we're going to be discussing in the next video. This is how you get in touch with what you're really meant to do in life. So what could be above such a high level thing as creating and delivering your deepest gift? Well, it's funny. Remember how I said that on a lower level of energy, it's actually like you don't really want to be here. It's not that you don't want to be here, but you just like, nothing really matters, And well, that's the same thing at the highest levels of energy. Awareness, non-duality. You simply are so happy and content with the world as is that you don't even have any goals. And this is what happens to monks when they reach this state. They just sit in a cave and they don't even have any desires really at all to impress anyone, to give anything. I mean, man, I don't know. I guess I don't really understand it quite yet. I mean, I love giving my gift. Perhaps one day I'll kind of have a Jim Carrey moment and realize that, everything is just happening and unfolding as it should. But for now, pretty stoked. So I'm going to give you a more in-depth understanding of these higher levels of energy here. And these words will resonate. So 600 is synonymous to bliss, peace, life becoming deeply calm and tranquil. You may be feeling tranquil as I discuss this entire scale. Looking out at the sky or the stars, appreciating nature, right? Meditating on a stream of thoughts. So if you meditated for an hour and just paid attention to your thoughts, that can get you up in that 600 level. 650 is realizing that the observer and the observed are the same thing. 700 to 1,000 is known as the void, where really little human understanding is like this PowerPoint is not going to be able to capture it in the best of the words. It's really going to be up to you to watch this and experience it yourself. It's this ultimate enlightenment. Chanting Om for a long period of time can channel this energy. Nothingness and awareness at the same time. You couldn't hear the bird without the silence behind it. Okay? So it's kind of like an intuitive understanding. You can't really, that doesn't make sense, right? But if you really experience that, silence is where the noise is coming from. Silence is always there. It's almost like you're always observing yourself. As you sit watching this, just notice what you hear. And notice how hearing happens all by itself. No effort. Notice what you see happening all by itself. You can even see yourself. There's no separation between you and all that is. And this state is not above others, but merely home to all events. The field from which shape, movement, action, intention, truth, identity, universe all spawn from this 900 to 1,000 level. And again, it's difficult to really conceptually describe because it's too limited by words. So if you have, for example, a sphere of consciousness, right? Where if you're in destruction or depression, you don't really know about all this other stuff, but it's still a part of your human experience. And to tell you the truth, it's not usually so well mapped out like this. Like if you're depressed, chances are there's some parts of your life where you feel, self-importance or even a little bit of love sometimes. So the spheres are more like this, or overlapping. And you may have some pockets of destruction, even if you are, for the most part, in a very non-needy state, you might still have some parts of you that are a little bit depressed or fearful. 1000 is maker of all things visible and invisible, and again, can't really be described in words. So we've gone over the energy scale. Now I'm going to tell you about moving up the energy scale, how to do it. And this is where I'd love for you to pay key attention to. Call your attention to your center now so that you are extremely alert for this moment. Deep breath in and out. And now we're going to discuss how to move beyond your lower level energy. The desire to harm, which again can be unconscious. You may have some traumas within you from childhood that are causing you to self-sabotage. You may even be very depressed about certain aspects of your life. And this can require higher level guidance, higher level assistance, one-on-one training with an expert, a therapist even. You can escape it from deep work, from, extreme self-reflection. But really, people who are down under the 50 range, it's almost like they need that boost of even a drug in them to get out. Now, once they're in a place of depression or procrastination, the best way to get out of that is to kind of scare yourself, put yourself into fear in action, to detach from the source of negativity. And you can also seek expert help. So for example, Ebenezer Scrooge was in his, if you haven't heard of the story of A Christmas Carol, it's a great story. You probably have, but if you haven't, I don't know. People from all over the world take Maxi, so I can't take anything for granted. But Ebenezer Scrooge was shocked into fear. They scared him. They said, if you don't change your ways, you are going to be like this forever, and people are pretty much not going to value you as a human being. So to get out of fear and anxiety, well, you have to pretty much take action. You have to do something. Ebenezer Scrooge started giving back a lot. But even before that, one of the best things you can do is just focus on your breathing. Tapping, holding your breath for, 20 seconds. Practicing high vibration energy exercises, which is something we're going to discuss in the next video. And then, of course, getting a good night's sleep, improving your nutrition. Tapping. These are all things we're going to discuss in the next lesson. To move beyond the need for approval, well, simply start giving yourself self-approval. Work out and don't tell anyone. Don't post a picture the next time you work out. Just do it for you. Validate yourself. Push your body. Get a feeling of accomplishment from yourself. Take massive action on a project that you've dreamt about doing for a while. Post that YouTube video. Do it for you. To move beyond the need of anything, practice gratitude for what you already have. Planning gifts for the future. Donating to charity, acts of kindness. To move beyond an idea in your head, maybe a plan to donate to charity, maybe a plan for a business that's going to help the world, actually go take some action and do it. Create it. And then to move beyond the willed action, take action consistently. Hit your flow state, enthusiasm. The more action you take, the more you become a master. You're able to access the genius within you, the feeling that you know this is what you're meant to do, and this is what then carries you. It makes everything feel effortless. It's one of the greatest states that you can access. And that's pretty much it for this video. So in the next video, we're going to discuss some exercises to improve and enhance your inner purpose, to get you more in tune with your inner purpose, which will help you to move up the energy scale in ways that perhaps you previously were unable to. So with that, I'll conclude this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Hey, what's up, brother? Hopefully you are enjoying these free resources that I'm putting out for you. Now, if you got to the end of this video and you had the patience and the discipline to finish something to completion, then you might be a good fit for my mastermind. I am building a small community of only 50 investors, entrepreneurs, and professionals who are looking to level up in their mindset, their fitness, their social circle, their social media brand, and business. You might be a good fit. If you'd be interested in joining that, or applying to it at least, it's invite only, then direct message me the word mastermind on Instagram at Arlin. That's ARLIN. Direct message me the word mastermind to see if you are a good fit. I'll send you a link. You'll be sent to this page. You will book a time, and then you will answer the survey questions. Okay, and make sure you answer these questions in sufficient detail because we will cancel if you don't put in effort and you aren't serious about this. Again, we're only accepting hitters, so if that's you, send me a message.